Here we are with Spoony, no Antwiler, SpoonyExperiment.com. First, I have to say, aside from being a big fan of your videos, how does it feel to be a big-time internet celebrity now?
I don't know. It's always really weird to describe myself as a celebrity, but I certainly feel like a celebrity here because, like, I came over here and everybody recognizes me. I had this room packed full of people who are fans of my videos, who are laughing at all my jokes, and really, being on the internet and stuff like that, you very rarely get to see your fans and their reaction to what you do. You never really get to see personally, people who are inspired by what you do, who laugh at what you do. So, like, this is the first time, like, really, I've ever seen anyone laugh at my videos. Like, it's kind of funny. Like, I see comments on my website all saying this is really funny, but to actually be in a room with people who are, like, entertained, it was really an amazing experience.
Now, being a fan of yours, I follow you on Twitter and so on, and the whole wrestling thing has become almost it's become a whole thing of itself, because it started with just you mocking the Warrior and doing a whole special characters, but then now you did a whole running commentary of Raw and then TNA, and then you're doing this whole Twitter back and forth with TNA Dixie Carter.
Yeah.
So, I mean, first off, why did you start with the commentary?
I grew up with wrestling. I used to watch it a lot. I don't know why, because, you might think, like, oh, you're too smart to like wrestling. I don't know why I liked it. I like to watch the goofy characters and stuff like that. And it's always been silly. But for some reason, it's fun to just kind of pick it apart. And pardon me, I don't really know why I watch it so much. It's fun to just kind of rage against this stuff, and people have, like, the comments have kind of been divided, positive and negative, towards the wrestling thing, to the point where, like, some people don't like it, some people say I should do less. I'm actually thinking about splitting off the website to do kind of like a dedicated site to just the wrestling thing, so I can talk about that exclusively, and not, it's kind of separate from the other stuff I do. So, but yeah, I mean, wrestling is just a funny business, man, because it kind of exists outside of logic, time, and space. People behave like cartoon characters, but it's people, So it's kind of this area of fiction that kind of fascinates me, especially the dynamic with how they interact with crowds and what crowds seem to like and dislike as time goes by. Just the wacky stuff that goes on. It's fun. I'm
sort of falling out with it as a fan-wise, and I kind of get the feeling you're kind of falling out with it, because it's just both organizations are putting on mediocre shows.
You know what it is? That I've been falling out with it. I used to be a big WWF fan. And the problem with WWF has been they're trying to mainstream their product. More specifically, they're trying to make their project, they have made their project PG. Which is really silly, because you're talking about a program that's predicated entirely on the concept of two dudes hitting each other with chairs. Like, trying to beat each other into unconsciousness, and by definition, that can't really be PG. So they try to lighten it up with a bunch of really bad comedy, really badly written sketches, celebrity guest hosts, and it's become all about the spectacle and less about the athleticism, the intensity, the emotion that was part of wrestling that got people really interested. And so, it's, like I said, it's become less of a pseudo-legitimate sport and become a cartoon.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, the whole tone has changed in the last 10 years. And that's what wrestling's become. So yeah, I think I've been, you kind of fall in and out of love with wrestling as it evolves. So, yeah.
Now, I want to talk about this because you won an award, 2009 Funniest Man to Follow, a web award. You're up against, like, the Nostalgia Critic and AVGN and other guys. And
has that started already? The nominations?
No, what you wanted for 2009.
Yeah. For about, you're talking like for 10?
Oh, no, yeah, but 10. I'm not sure when that happened. Okay. But 09, you won it.
Yeah.
And since you won it, though, I remember that there was a video that was up that was sort of like a thank you, and then it was down. What happened?
The problem with that was it's kind of a personal matter, but the problem was some of the comments that came down were less than courteous, shall we say. And, I've been exposed to this for a really long time. I've seen pretty much the most ignorant, incoherent crap spewed my way. Haters gonna hate and stuff like that. So, I've dealt with, people don't really mean it most of the time. Some people are just being, like, needlessly abusive and stuff like that. And when other people kind of get the mud flung in their face, they know that it's just internet commentary and that they shouldn't take it so seriously, but nobody likes to be told these things. Like, nobody likes to be hated on. And so it takes a special kind of person who is able to kind of crush their own ego and like admit they have no shame and put up with that. Other people shouldn't have to put up with that. So I took it down because there was just a lot of bad comments coming around.
Yeah, I totally understand. I had Lord Cat on my podcast, and he was at the very beginning of where the hate was starting to come in for him, and he's just doing a funny little show on himself. And here you are, just thanking everybody, and all the hate started happening there. So it was really a shame. But I had to ask about it because it was one of those things I just wondered myself.
Yeah, it's kind of the culture, you know. It's there's a lot of security and anonymity on the internet that you can say whatever you want, but also it's kind of a shield where people can just like say a lot of hateful things. And so that's why I try to keep the community on my site very positive. Like, I don't like to spread, like ignorance and hate and stuff like that, so I don't tolerate any of that kind of talk. So, we're here to have fun. We're here to talk about really bad games and, make fun of
hate on it.
We're here to, no, not hate. It's just we're here to have fun, And so if you're not having fun, why are you here? So that's kind of the whole point of that.
Exactly. Well, Spoony, Antwiler, thank you very much. SpoonyExperiment.com. It's the funniest man on the internet.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir.